Welcome to the weekly shir of the Zera Shimshon. It is Aleph the Rosh Chodesh Tammuz Tavshin Pei Ahei, and it is also the yard site of my wife's aunt, who is very precious to us. And may her neshama have an aliyah. It's Taiba Fege Bas Tanchum, and we won't go into the whole story because it is a whole story, but I'm going to try to do a little bit for her neshama by saying the shir for her, and it's in the Zera Shimshon, and I'm going to do this in English because I had a hard time finding a short piece in the regular Zera Shimshon in Hebrew. So let me. This is not so short, but it's going to be shorter. Anyway, two rulers can't share the same crown. That's a rule. It's a vaydaber el Korach el kol adasai lemar boiker v'yoida Hashem es asher loy ve'es hakadosh v'hikriv elav ve'es asher yivchar boy yakriv elav. So he spoke to Korach and to his entire assembly, saying, in the morning, this is Moshe Rabbeinu speaking to them, he says, in the morning, Hashem will make known the one who is his own and holy one, and he will draw himself closer to him unto himself, and whoever he will choose, he will draw close to himself. I'm hoping I can save this from going down. I guess it's not working. All right. Got trouble with the stand again. All right. Anyway, we'll try to do this as best we can. Now, Moshe uses the word boker, right? Morning rather than machar, tomorrow. Rashi comments on this and he says, Moshe said to them, Hashem set boundaries in his universe. Can you transform morning into night? That is how possible it is to undo the appointments of whoever Hashem chose. When Moshe said this, it was still day. Why did Moshe want to wait till morning? Moshe could have said, in the evening Hashem will make known who is his own. Since the word Erev, evening, means to mix up, it would have also conveyed his message. Can you mix morning with night? They would have heard the same words of rebuke he wanted to tell them about mixing up day and night without waiting until morning. So why did he specifically choose to warn them by saying in the morning? We can find the answer to this in the Midrash and Beis Rabbah, which explains the words and the stars in Parshat Breshis. Remember that? Hashem said to the moon, since the moon diminished itself, I have decreed that it will be accompanied by the stars. Interesting. Then it goes out, and when it retreats, they will do the same. So we all thought that it was natural. What God decreed it. From here it says the Midrash, and not to say that there's no stars in the day. If you have the correct equipment, you will find it there. But the stars accompany the moon at night. From here, says the Midrash, we see that the moon accepted that minor role of illuminating the sky at night. Korach's main argument, according to Rashi in Midbar, was that his younger cousin Elitzaphan had been appointed leader of the children of Kahas. Moshe Rabbeinu said to him, according to you, positions of authority should be handed out according to seniority. Yet, if we go with your approach, the stars should have been ordered to accompany the sun, not the moon, since the sun is the larger of the two. This was Moshe's intention when he asked Korach and his followers, do you think it's possible to transform day into night? If you can arrange for the stars to shine with the sun, then you can also cancel Elitzaphan's appointment to be the Nasi of Kahas. But as long as the stars come out at night with the moon, we see that your argument is incorrect, and that leadership is thrust upon us upon those who humble themselves and make themselves small. That is why Elisaphan will become Nasi and not you, who runs after honor. This is also why Moshe particularly used the word boker, morning. He was hinting at the stars that assist the moon with lighting the night and asking whether Korach would be able to make them light up the day alongside the sun. Another point along the same lines, Gemara tells us that the sun and moon came before Hashem and said, if you help Moshe, we will help to do our job. We will help to do our jobs. If you help Moshe, we will continue to do our jobs. But if not, we will stop carrying out our jobs. The Gemara in Sanhedrin. Why would the sun and moon make such a move? What's beneficial to them? As we mentioned, according to Korach, the sun should have been the one to receive the stars as its hosts, since it was larger and more important than the moon. Furthermore, Korach and his people didn't agree with the moon's position in the first place. How do we know this? The reason the moon became small was because it told Hashem that it wasn't possible for two kings to use one crown. Two kings can't rule at the same time. Korach clearly disagreed with that sentiment. We know this because each of his 250 supporters wanted to be appointed Kohanim Gedolim, clearly feeling that it was possible for two kings or more to use the same crown. This means that according to the Korach school of thought, the moon became small for no reason, since it could have remained at full size, serving alongside the sun. This also means as long as Korach and his followers were not punished, it appeared that their reasoning was logical and accurate, which made both the sun and the moon very unhappy. The sun because it had no stars, and the moon because it became small for no reason. All this explains why the sun and the moon demanded that Hashem make a very clear stand in favor of Moshe Rabbeinu. Have a wonderful Shabbos and a good Chodesh, and maybe say more B'Seiras Tayvus and Yeshuas v'Nechames v'Klal Yisrael in Gansen. Okay, call to.